So here's the thing with Fani Willis. There is a strong possibility that in a worst case scenario, Fani could go to jail. Best case scenario, her career is over. Because first of all, you're a prosecutor. No, she's a DA, right? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. She's a district attorney, right? She's the district attorney for Fulton County, right? So she just lost two humongous cases in 1 year. So she lost the YSL case, which was, let's be honest, she shouldn't have brought those RICO charges in the first place. Right? She didn't have to bring RICO charges against them. But she did. And she lost in spectacular fashion. And let's be real, from the coverage that everybody has posted here on YouTube about that case has been a problem since it started. How many times did they switch judges in that case? Because they started out with a black dude, and then they had to switch him out for this white chick. So that case was already problematic, especially if you've been paying attention to the lead attorney's coverage of that case. That case has been a problem case ever since it started. And if you really want to be honest, that case was a miscarriage of justice because they were supposed to dismiss that case a long time ago, right? So you got that loss under her belt, right? You got that loss. And then you have the Trump case. Both of these are RICO cases. So your office brought two RICO cases, two of the biggest cases this year, one of which was the biggest case of your career. You actually indicted a former president and then made him come to Fulton County and get a mugshot taken. And let's be totally honest, that mugshot didn't do what you thought it was going to do. You thought that mugshot was going to diminish his reputation. It actually made more black people, like, if we want to be honest, that mugshot is probably what won him Georgia. Would anybody disagree with that? Would anybody disagree with the fact that his mugshot is probably what won him the state of Georgia? So let's process this for a second, right? Because when you look at her, you know, when they tried to get her to submit her records, right? She's been given pushback this whole time. She hasn't been complying with any of the powers that be that have been asking her for her records. The judge that was on the case, he gave them a choice where it's like, okay, well, one of you can stay on the case, but the other one have to leave, right? So Nathaniel Wade, he gets off of the case. Really, that judge was supposed to dismiss that case, but he was up for re-election, so we know why he didn't totally outright dismiss that case. He didn't want to incite the anger of the black community in Fulton County, right? But when you look at all of the foolishness surrounding that case, when you look at her having an affair with the prosecuting attorney that she picked, when you look at everything that came out in that, not to mention the fact that Nathan Wade, he already spilled the beans. He already, he actually was subpoenaed, and he actually went and testified and basically said that she was going after Trump before she even took office. That was her intention before she even took office. So we have another Letitia James, right? And so now they are asking for the records of any correspondence between her and the Biden administration, Jack Smith, and the J6 committee. Now here's what's really interesting about this whole situation. And this is what you really got to pay attention to. I spoke on this once, but I'm going to speak on it again. Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, and Fani Willis. What do they all have in common? Somebody tell me. Letitia James, Fani Willis, and Alvin Bragg. What do they all have in common? They're all Democrats. Correct. They're all Democrats, but they have something else in common. They're all black. They're all black. Now, y'all know that I don't really do the race baiting. But I got to point this out. We've been saying over here for I don't know how long that the Democratic Party is actually the racist party. Not the Republicans. The Democrat Party is actually the racist party. I think it is both unfortunate and simultaneously hilarious that Letitia James, Fani Willis, and Alvin Bragg allowed the Biden administration or the Democrat Party to put a battery in their back to go against a former sitting president. Now, if you've never played chess before, or if you don't understand strategy, you won't see the play. How many of y'all see the play? Press 1 if y'all see the play. I'm going to explain to you what the play was, but press 1 if y'all see the play. I see it as clear as day. I see it as clear as day. So this is what they basically did. The Democrat Party used them as useful idiots. In other words, they sent them on a dummy mission. Now, I'm pretty sure their thinking was, well, if they can win and get a conviction, awesome. In fact, that's part of the reason why they picked black people to go after him. Because all through the media, the consensus in mainstream media is that Trump is a racist, right? So this is the setup. So if they pick black district attorneys to go after Trump, it kind of ties his hands in how much shit he can talk about them. Because if he starts saying that these people are incompetent, These people are not qualified. These people are corrupt. These people are just going after him because they don't want him to be president. They can easily turn around and say he's racist. The Democrat Party can easily say Trump is racist because the district attorneys that are going after him are black, right? So in their mind, it's like, okay, we'll send them after Trump because we can always play the race card when he gives pushback. So in their mind, it's like, okay, cool. That's a good strategy. We can send, allegedly, that's a good strategy. We can send them at Trump for these goofy charges that they know nobody would have brought. Okay? When they were getting ready to gear up for this crap, people were saying to Alvin Bragg, why would you bring these charges? Same thing with Letitia James, same thing with Fani Willis, right? There were legal scholars, many of them, that have stated clearly that Letitia James should have never brought her case, Alvin Bragg should have never brought his case, and Fani Willis should have never brought her case, right? But the Democratic Party was basically using them as cannon fodder. So it's like, okay, cool. If y'all can win this case, and God only knows what they promised them. You can win this case, but guess what? If you lose this case, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to fall on your sword. I guarantee you, moving forward, right? I guarantee you, moving forward, the Democrat Party, the Biden administration, they are going to cut ties from these individuals and pretend that they were just lone district attorneys that were deciding to go after Trump for whatever reasons, and they had nothing to do with it. I bet you any amount of money. And that's the whole reason why Fani Willis is fighting so hard to not give up those records. Because I guarantee you that those records probably have some sort of back and forth between her and the J6 committee, her and the Biden administration, her and the Democrat Party about Trump, about going after Trump. Now, this is the unfortunate part for all of them, for Fani Willis, Letitia James, Jack Smith, all of them, right? The unfortunate part for them is right now, as we speak, it's looking like there's two things that's going to happen. I'm giving you my prediction right now. There's two things that's going to happen. Kash Patel is going to get confirmed as director of the FBI. Trump's lawyer, I forgot her name, she's going to get confirmed as the attorney general. That right there is going to seal the fate of Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, Fani Willis, Jack Smith, and anybody else that engaged in lawfare. They will be lucky if they don't lose their license to practice law. Now, if you look at Fani Willis, her career is over. This isn't even a question. Her career is over. And I'm going to tell you why. Just like it said in that article, never in the history of the what's the name of it? The Judicial Watch. They've never had somebody just flat out deny an open records request or try to hold off. And see, they requested that back in April. You want to know the reason why she was holding off? Because she thought Trump was going to lose. She thought Trump was going to lose. See, what really screwed all of them was the fact that Trump won. Screwed all of them. They did not believe that man was going to win. They genuinely thought, see, if Trump would have lost, they could have continued with all of their goofiness, because they would have been saying, well, Trump lost, so all of America agrees with us that he needs to be locked up, right? But because he won, and right now, they're demanding the correspondence from Fani Willis's office to Jack Smith, to the J6 committee, to the Biden administration. And you know what she's going to do? You know what she's going to do? Do you think she's going to give up those records? This is the reason why I said if she's not careful, she's going to end up in jail. Now, most people will say, man, Fani Willis ain't going to no jail. Letitia James ain't going to lose her license to practice law. Alvin Bragg ain't going to lose his position. Like, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all why I wouldn't bank on that. When have you ever seen a president make the picks that Trump is making right now? Do you realize that everything Trump was saying at his rallies, everything he was running on, because he won a decisive victory, because he won so many electoral votes, because he won so much of the popular vote, he has what is called a mandate. Now, on mainstream media, they're saying he doesn't have a mandate. Yes, he does. When you have the American public come out in that force to vote for a president that is talking about drastically changing things, it means that the American public want change. If you remember, 70-some% of the American public said that we don't like the direction the country's going in. Now, if you've listened to the way Trump talks, if you've listened to the way Trump's lawyer talks, if you've listened to the way Kash Patel talks, if you've listened to the way Elon talks, the way Vivek talks, the way Tulsi Gabbard talks, it's about to be, it's about to be Mad Max Thunderdome time. When that dude takes office in January, some heads are going to roll. Because if you think for 1 second that Donald J. Trump has forgotten about how he was treated when he took office the first time, how he was undermined when he was in office the first time, and then the subsequent lawfare that came after that, the investigating of his children, his family, them trying to lock him under the jail. And then in addition to that, to add insult to injury, you just had Biden pardon his son, and everybody's sitting back like, well, it's within his power to do it. Okay. Guess what? You just set one hell of a precedent. Because if you're going to sit back, Whoopi Goldberg, and say that, well, Joe Biden's the current sitting president, he can do whatever he wants. Okay. You think Trump ain't paying attention to all of that? And the difference, look, Trump ain't even in office yet. And he's already on some iron fist shit. He ain't even in office yet. See, Trump back in 2016 in his first administration, he was Kaioken Goku. Trump in this administration, he's about to be Super Saiyan 3 Goku. For all my Dragon Ball Z fans out there. And if you think for 1 second, you sit back, look, I don't pretend to know what Trump is thinking, but I'm gonna tell you what I would be thinking if I was president. The way Letitia James, because you gotta think about it like this. You reached the presidency. You became president. In other words, you reached the highest office in the land. Not to mention the fact that you've been a billionaire since forever. In other words, for a very long time, you have been above the station of a Letitia James, a Fani Willis, a Alvin Bragg. Do you think that he's not sitting back thinking to himself, how dare they try to come after me? Do you think he's not sitting back thinking to himself, they had the nerve to try to lock me up on some fake, phony, fraudulent charges? And see, Trump has another mandate. He doesn't just have the mandate of the will of the American people. He has to make sure that when he gets out of office, there ain't no retribution after he gets out of office, which means he has to make sweeping changes. He has to make sweeping changes. He has to make sure that when he gets out of office in 2028, these fools ain't gonna go after him in his twilight years. They don't go after his family. He has to make sure. And look, let me tell you something. I got one thing. I got one clip that I'm going to play for you. This is the one clip that exemplifies what all of them are up against. Every last one of these people that went after Trump,
hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
remember the scene in The Usual Suspects when Verbal Kent is sitting in the detective's office and he's talking about Kaiser Sose. The detective said, why didn't you shoot him? He said, why didn't I shoot the devil in the back? What if I miss? That's what y'all did. That's what y'all did. They said, somebody once asked Trump, like, how do you handle all of the media constantly, the constant media attention? How do you manage weathering all of this when you're in the eye of the storm? Donald Trump looked at him and said, I am the storm. Donald Trump is the storm. Donald Trump is the monster. You tried to slay him and you failed. You did something no one in the history of this country has ever attempted to do. As a state district attorney with no jurisdiction, you tried to indict and prosecute a former sitting president who just happened to become president again. You're screwed. He's about to take office with the full might of the federal government behind him. There are no more rhinos. They're over there right now talking about how Kash Patel is pretty much gonna get confirmed. All of these people are people that are loyal to Trump. All of these people were people that were fighting for him back in 2020. Y'all are screwed. And you ain't in the same climate that you were in before. This ain't 2016. This ain't 2017. It ain't 2018. And it damn sure ain't 2019. You're in a different climate now. Because all of that woke programming and all of that crap you used against Trump, the court of public opinion ain't on your side this time. The vast majority of the American public are going to sit back and watch Donald Trump go to work, and we ain't going to bat an eye. We ain't going to say a mumbling word. The media's going to scream about it, but guess what? The American people ain't going to care. We ain't going to care. Because you've pretty much made your own bed. Now you got to lay in it. And the coup de grace was how you ran around here virtue signaling, pretending like Biden was above reproach. Oh, he respects lawfare. Not lawfare. He respects the letter of the law. He respects the jury. He's not gonna pardon Hunter. And then what did he do? That was your signature to let us know that y'all are liars and you don't really believe in what you believe in. And now everybody's looking at it like, wow, they probably really did go after Trump. I mean, most of us already knew this. Most of us already knew you were going after him for political reasons. This letter that Joe Biden issued explaining why he pardoned his son pretty much gives validity to everything Trump was saying. So guess what? How are you going to go up against him now? How are you going to go up against him now when this go round, he's smart enough not to pick the people that you recommend that are going to end up undermining his authority and his power? How are you going to go up against him now when you don't have the court of public opinion on your side when you want to go up against Trump? How are you going to go against him now when the media is dying? It does not have the same power it did back in 2016. How are you going to do this? Every time when I sit back and I look at everything y'all have done up to this point to Donald Trump, it's like the perfect storm that's breaking in his favor. Donald Trump getting ready to go into office is like 50 Cent when he got that deal from Shady Aftermath. This is about to be a hurricane. This is about to be a hurricane. This is about to be a hurricane, and guess what? They know it. They know it. You already have people buckling. And you know the reason why? You're not going to have Mitch McConnell in Washington this time. Most of the rhinos are gone. The Republican Party now belongs to Trump. Lock, stock, and two smoking barrels. And guess what? Y'all did this to yourself. You did it to yourself. Because what you did is you simply delayed the inevitable. Because if you really want to be honest, Trump should have got 2 terms back to back. In fact, you probably would have came out. That's the irony of it. The irony is you probably would have came out better. You probably would have came out better if he got 2 terms back to back. You would have came out better. Because the 4 years that he wasn't president, this 4-year break, it's only done one thing. You've gave us the perfect contrast. Now we have a point of reference. We can look at Joe Biden's presidency and compare it to Trump's presidency. So now we can compare and contrast. We know Trump is the better president. In the 4 years that you carried water for Joe Biden, you've only proven one thing. You exposed yourselves. You showed the whole world who you were. I'm talking about the Democrats, the left, the wokies. You showed the whole world who you are. Like right now, you got all of these people. I showed you the video where the guy said that you got women are removing their fallopian tubes, and you got dudes getting vasectomies because Trump got elected. I'm not going to be upset with you about that. Why would we be upset that you wokies, you people that are so mentally disturbed that you are sterilizing yourself because Trump got elected? It doesn't hurt us if you don't want to reproduce. It actually helps us. It actually helps us. Because what that means is if all of you that don't like Trump, all of you that are on the left, if you're going on a reproduction strike, that means in the next 18 years, you're going to have more conservatives than you did before. You're going to have more Republicans than you did before. Because I guarantee you, conservatives and Republicans will still be reproducing. You're not hurting us by doing that. You're actually hurting yourself. Because as we see from the election map, you were already outnumbered. What you're really doing by abstaining from sex and reproduction and all of that, what you're doing is you're guaranteeing that some of these blue states are going to end up becoming red states. That's what you're doing over time. In fact, somebody already did a study on it. Somebody already did a study on it. They said our society is moving towards a more populist movement. And it's very simple why. Because the people on the left, the people that belong to these intersectional groups, you're not reproducing. You're not reproducing yourself. You weren't counting on reproduction, you were counting on indoctrination. But the only problem is the indoctrination didn't stick. Because you messed up another part of it. It's kind of hard to program people when they can't afford groceries. It's kind of hard to program people when they can't afford rent. It's kind of hard to program people when their lives are in shambles because they don't have any money. See, I don't care how altruistic your viewpoints are. You could have the best sermon in the world. It don't matter if your audience stomachs are growling. Because I can tell you right now, from my own experience, when your stomach is growling, you ain't trying to hear nothing and nobody except somebody that's going to help you stop your stomach from growling. You don't care about nothing else. And that's where y'all messed up. You thought we could eat identity politics. You thought identity politics keep us warm at night. You thought identity politics can be put in our gas tanks. You thought identity politics would keep us safe from foreign threats. It doesn't. And you didn't learn your lesson. That's another reason why I know you're going down in flames, because you didn't even learn your lesson from the damn election. You didn't even learn your lesson. You're still running around here talking crazy. You're still running around here talking crazy like any of that crap matters. Shout out to Paul. He said, tribute, Primo. Trump's first term was pregame. The big show starts. Yeah. Shout out to Hannibal. Appreciate you. I mean, you can sit back and look at every misstep that the Democrats took, thinking that they were being strategic. I mean, I could talk about this for days. There's enough material to talk about for days. You could talk about Joe Biden's screw-ups for days. You could talk about Kamala's screw-up in her presidential campaign for days. You could talk about how the woke have completely alienated the vast majority of America. You could talk about this for days. When I go to TikTok and social media, you know what I see? I see wokies losing their minds, and I see normal people making fun of them. See, there used to be a time where the normies were empathetic to the wokies. There used to be a time where the normies were actually trying to be tolerant of the wokies. But guess what? This is where you messed up, woke folks. This is where you messed up. This is where you messed up. You went after three fundamental things in this country that you never go after. You tried to go after the guns. You tried to take away our guns, which is a no-no. You messed up the church's money, which is another no-no. And everything you represent, everything you're about, everything you do is blasphemous to God. Those are the three things you don't mess with in this country. You don't mess with the money, you don't mess with the guns, and you don't mess with God. And that's why the country rejected you. And you don't get it. You don't get it. This election proved definitively there are more of us than there are of you. You're just louder. You're just louder. And we have finally come to the point where society is sick of you talking. We're sick of you talking. We're sick of you running your mouth. We are sick of the Letitia Jameses. We are sick of the Fani Willises. We are sick of the Alvin Braggs. We are sick of all of it. We're sick of the Kamala Harrises, the Joe Bidens, the Tim Walls, the Obamas. We are sick of it. We're sick of it. I thought I was the only one that was sick of it. But after this election, I see I'm not the only one. Everybody's sick of it. I can say with confidence and 100% certainty, your run is over. And the only thing we're looking at now is we're looking at the vapor of it. We're looking at the smoke clearing. You're running on fumes right now. Shout out to Tootie Bug for gifting 5 memberships. Shout out to Michelle, said Trump told Canada they would pay tariffs. They bucking, so he said they can become the 51st state and the president can be governor of the state of Canada if they refuse. Boss move. Watch this. Watch this though, Michelle. Y'all saw when Trump said that, right? Y'all saw when Trump told Trudeau that, okay, you complaining about the tariffs, you feel like it's going to mess up Canada? All right, cool. Y'all can become the 51 state and you can be the governor of it. What did I say the other day? What did I say the other day about Canada and Mexico? What did I say? Do y'all remember what I said? Shout out to Tootie Buzz, said, for my tardiness, Sir Angryman, appreciate you. What did I say the other day? Shout out to Larry. He said, I'm hearing Tiffany Henyard got voted out. Of course. Of course she got voted out. She done. Tiffany is fired. You know what it's called? It's called the Trump effect. It's called the Trump effect. Yeah, I said it the other day. I said it the other day before Trump even told that joke. They said when he said it, there was nervous laughter. You know why it was nervous laughter? Because they're wondering if he's joking. See, there was somebody by the name of K-Dot. He said, I'm what the culture's feeling. Nah, nigga. I'm what the culture's feeling. That's why I can sit up here and say certain shit, and then after I say it, you then hear elected officials saying the same shit. I'll sit up here and say some shit like that, and then next thing you know, Donald Trump is saying the same damn thing. Because when Trudeau came out there complaining about the tariffs, you heard what I said. Don't nobody care about your concerns. F you pay me. Trump come from my era. He come from the F you pay me era. We do $500 billion in business with America. Yeah, and if you want to keep doing business with us, you going to pay it. You're going to pay like you weigh. Pay like you weigh. All of y'all been taking advantage of America for way too long. Well, what did 50 say? Pump my packs or pay poor tax. I love Trump. Trump is the most gangster president we ever had, bruh. I love it. I love every minute of it. Every time he opened his mouth to say something, I love it. I love it. It's some straight up Gen X gangster, hardcore to the penis. I don't care. The only thing Trump need now is some Timberlands and a New York fitted. Canada, you gonna get your shit together. Mexico, you gonna get your shit together. And anybody else out here in the world. Because you know what's one of the first things Trump gonna do? He gonna go into the military. He gonna get all of them clowns out of the military. And just him being commander in chief is going to inspire a new level of morale. And you're going to watch and mark my words. Remember, I said this today. In the next 4 years, you're going to watch as the people enlisting in the military is going to go up. And I don't mean just anybody. I mean the I love my country, saluting the flag, Yankee Doodle dandy type dudes is about to start enlisting in the military. So that we can get our former military might back. Running around here talking about bricks. Bricks? What's that? The nerve. Y'all really think y'all gonna, every time somebody came on my show talking that bricks crap, I just looked at them like they was crazy. I don't want to hear that crap. This America, Jack. You really think we gonna let you tank the American dollar? What? Better respect our gangster. What are you talking about? And it's about time. It's just like that dude that was in the Olympics. That won the gold or whatever. He's sitting up there talking about some, in basketball, they be saying world champions. Champions of what? Excuse me, Negro? You forget yourself, brother. Champions of the damn world. That's who. We are the champions, my friends. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Tavares said, AM, my wife don't think you hate George W. Bush. Yeah, I didn't like George W. I didn't like him. But I respected his gangster. I respected his gangster. Yeah, this is America, Jack. And guess what? If you didn't understand what Trump meant when he said, make America great again, after 4 years of Joe Biden, I bet your ass understand it now. Let me say that again. Let me say that again. If you didn't understand what Trump meant before when he said, make America great again, after 4 years of Joe Biden, I bet your ass understand it now. I bet you can't wait for him to make America great again. You know the only ones that got a problem with it? The woke losers that thought they was going to elect Chamomile and thought that she was going to change America into the goofy crap we see on these goofy TV shows that they put out. Nah, we good on that. We good on that. Go have several seats, Chamomile. You better go down there to the White House right now and take as many selfies as you can. Because when you get up out of here in January 20th, this is the last time you're going to be in the White House. Next time you go to the White House, you'll be a visitor. And by the way, Obama and Michelle, y'all go have several seats too. Go have several seats too. We don't want to hear nothing you got to say. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. We've had enough. We've had enough. And by the way, Jennifer Lewis, you keep running around here talking about you mad at black men for voting for Trump. Guess what? You can go have several seats too. Because we tired of your loudmouth ass too. What's funny to me is you got all these black folks running around here, these older black folks that think they elders. Elders of what? You don't even have a damn culture anymore. You don't even have a culture anymore because you co-sign all of this new age BS. It's nothing but pure dysfunction. And I can't respect it. And I can't respect you. You woke ass clowns locked up Cliff Huxtable. See, some of y'all forgot about it. I ain't gonna never forget it. You locked up Cliff Huxtable. You locked up America's dad over something that allegedly happened 30 freaking years ago. Locked up America's dad, and then talked crazy to Felicia Rashad because she defended him. You tried to cancel Janet Jackson. You tried to lock up Michael Jackson. Can't respect none of it. That's why I'm glad. I'm glad Trump is in office. I'm glad he's in office. Oh my God, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Shout out to Michelle, said even Putin had to step back on his rhetoric because he see the move. Salute to him for not being a pawn. Facts. Putin saw what was going on. He saw what was going on. Everybody see it. Everybody see it. Everybody see it. Now they mad. That's the other part that's hilarious to me. The other part that's hilarious to me is all of the crying and whining and oh my God, like they just lost in the sauce. And it's really funny and sad at the same time because there's nothing they can do about it. There's literally nothing they can. Look, let me tell you something. And this is just my personal belief. Ain't nobody else got to believe this. When that man was standing on that stage and he went to turn his head to look at that billboard and that bullet nicked his ear, you still got people running around here thinking that the bullet really didn't hit him, which is crazy. You still got people running around here trying to pretend like that was staged or something. Or really, what about the people that lost their life that day? Right? When I saw that, the first thing that I thought in my mind, I said, that's divine intervention right there. That's divine intervention right there. Think about everything they threw at this man. They threw everything at him, including the kitchen sink. They came at him with the full might of the American government. That ain't no joke. We talking so many agencies. We talking FBI, CIA, freaking JOD, DOJ. We're talking everything. And it all failed. And it didn't just fail, it failed perfectly. Everything fell right into place. Everything. Everything fell right into place. Like when you really sit back and think about it, you look at everything, how everything is playing out, how everything is just lining up. I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. And I can tell you something right now. And this is on everything I love. Every single time that Kamala got in front of that camera, every time she got on that podium, I didn't see nothing but pure evil. And it didn't help that she had people out there twerking and you know, she running Jesus loving people out of her rallies. She don't want to go to events that's religious. Then she took her behind up to a church and stood up there in the pulpit and tried to preach and told a bunch of lies that didn't even come out of the Bible. Bruh, I was just sitting back like, yo, this is evil. This is pure evil right here. West Coast Creole said, "You are cooking with a cast iron tonight." I didn't see nothing, but especially based on what she was running on. Especially based on what she's running on. I'm like, are you serious? But anyway, I've been on here long enough running my mouth. Shout out to everybody that came through. I appreciate you guys for tuning into the show. As always, make sure you guys go check out my book. It's available on Amazon. All you have to do is type The Angryman Standard in the search bar and it will come up. It's available in paperback and hardcover. If you want to check out the merchandise, all you have to do is go to shopBinoNation.com. Again, that's shopBinoNation.com. But other than that, man, salute to all of you. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Shout out to Tavarius for being a sponsor. Shout out to everybody that contributed, everybody that hit the like button. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm going to get back at y'all tomorrow. Deuces.
Spartans! What is your profession?